One day you hit I-40, and you went I-40 all the way to Memphis. That drive would take you 7 hours and 24 minutes, but it would only be 501 miles. You'd have to drive all the way to Little Rock, Arkansas to get to the end of that money. Imagine that, starting in Bristol and driving 7 hours plus about another 2 hours, 9-hour drive, and the whole way you see $100 bills stacked up side by side, the whole length of that drive. That's $1 trillion. And they're talking about, oh, we'll throw $1 trillion here, we'll throw $1 trillion there. It is an immense amount of money. The atmosphere extends 62 miles above the earth. That means it will be over 10 times higher than the atmosphere. We stacked it up that way. Currently, our national debt is over $31 trillion. 31 trillion. Oh, we're just 31 trillion in debt. Do you know how much money that is? If today the government balanced its budget and stopped spending more than it earns and began to pay that 31 trillion back at $100 million a day, $100 million a day, they begin to pay that debt off, not counting the interest. We're talking about just the principal of 31 trillion. Do you know how long it would take to pay that off? At 100 million a day, 849 years.
Whoa.
849. Do you think that we're ever going to pay that debt off? That's a crazy amount of money. And they're still throwing it around. Every time every president comes in, we go a few more trillion, a few more trillion, a few more trillion. When Obama got in office, he increased the national debt more than all the presidents before him. And it's gotten worse. It was only around 18 trillion, I think, when he got in office. Now it's 31 trillion. And they keep on throwing it into the wind. Where's the money going? The circumference of the earth is 24,901 miles around the equator. If you were to stack up that $100 bills in the national debt, it would be 5,340 miles short of making a lap around the earth. Now, 100 quadrillion $100 bills would stack up 631,000 miles, which would be 25 times around the earth. 100 quadrillion. Okay? That's 10 to the 17th power. That's 1 quadrillion, I'm sorry. 1 quadrillion is 631,000 miles. 1 quadrillion. 100 quadrillion would be stack up 63,100,000 miles. Or 2,534 laps around the Earth's circumference. It would go to the moon and back, a round trip, 132 times between here and the moon. Okay? Now we're getting to the number I want to talk about. Oh, yeah. Something's got to get out of here, back here. You ever seen a silver dollar before? They stopped making those in 1921. In 1922, they made that Morgan dollar, excuse me, to 1921. They made the peace dollar, which was the one that replaced it, like this one, in 1922. Okay. Let me have that one back. Oh, you passed around? Okay, that's okay. Good. All right. This is 20 silver dollars right here. I'm going to take two of them away. Those 20 silver dollars stack up 2 inches high. 18 silver dollars is 2 inches high. There are 108 silver dollars in a foot. Okay. Let's see here. 1 quadrillion silver dollars would stack up 9,259,259,259,259 feet. Or 1,753,647,586 miles high. Over 1 billion miles high of silver dollars to stack up 1 quadrillion silver dollars. 100 quadrillion silver dollars, which is 1/10 to the 17th power, in silver dollars would stack up 175 billion plus a bunch more miles high. The distance from the Earth to the Sun is 93 million miles. That stack of silver dollars, 100 quadrillion silver dollars, would go to the Sun and back to the Earth 942 laps. Would you say that's a lot of silver dollars?
That's a lot.
Okay. All right. That's 100 quadrillion silver dollars. That's the number we're dealing with. The state of Texas is the second largest state in the United States, with an area of 268,597 square miles, or 171,902,080 acres of land. The King Ranch in the state of Texas, you ever heard of the King Ranch?
Mm-mm.
It's 1,289 square miles itself. 1,289 square miles. It's the biggest ranch in the United States. The state of Rhode Island would fit in it. 1,214 square miles is the state of Rhode Island. Would fit inside the King Ranch in Texas. Texas is 2.8 times larger than the United Kingdom, that country. If you drive from east to west in Texas, it's 773 miles across, 11-hour drive across Texas, east to west. If you want to go north to south, it's 803 miles. It takes 13 hours to drive from top to bottom of Texas. To give you an idea of that distance, from Oak Ridge, Tennessee to Miami, Florida is 871 miles. This is a little bit further, but it's actually the same drive time, 12 hours and 52 minutes, 13 hours to drive through Texas. Just to give you an idea of the distance. Now, as you remember before, from Bristol to Memphis is 501 miles. To give you a reference for that, okay? Tennessee is 42,146 square miles. Tennessee, state of Tennessee would fit in Texas 6.3 times. 6 Tennessees will fit in Texas. are you grasping the idea how big Texas is now?
Mm-hmm.
Rhode Island would fit in Texas 221 times.
Mm.
Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay. Where'd that silver dollar go that I had, y'all were passing around?
Myra.
Myra?
Save it to Myra.
Myra, where's my silver dollar?
Chair.
It's in the chair up there.
Oh, I see it. All right, I'll get it. All right. If I took this silver dollar and it was one of the 100 quadrillion silver dollars, and I threw it in the bag of 100 quadrillion silver dollars, and I shook it all up, so this one that I put the Myra's fingernail polish on, she didn't know about.
Why did you do that?
Because this is the one you gotta find.
Tell you why.
This is the one you gotta find.
Oh,
We're gonna put this in with the, it'll be one of the 100 quadrillion. We'd shake that bag up and pour it out on Texas. It would cover the state of Texas 2 feet deep. From top to bottom, east to west, the whole state would be covered in 2 feet of these silver dollars. Now, that's why I'm trying to get you to grasp the size and the immensity of this. And if I blindfolded you and spun you around 3 times and told you to take off walking, and you were able to walk out somewhere in the middle of all those silver dollars and reach down in there and pull this one out, the odds of you doing that is 1 in 10 to the 17th power. 1 chance out of 100 quadrillion. Odds of you being able to do that. For comparison, the chance of you winning, there's a Powerball lottery going on right now. Nobody keeps winning. It keeps going up and going up and going up. It's up to $815 million. The chances of you winning that is 1 in 292 million. 1 in 292 million is the odds of winning that. The chances of you being struck by lightning is 1 chance in a million. The odds of you getting this silver dollar is 1 in 100 quadrillion. That is the same odds for just 7 of the scriptures of Jesus coming true. Just 7 of them. There are over 300, which would be, like I say, prophecies saying about Jesus and his life. Over 300. It's impossible. The odds of those all coming true are absolutely impossible. But they came true. And if that doesn't scream that the Word of God is true, I don't know what else can. And if you think that prophecy was not that big a deal, I would challenge each one of you to pull out a piece of paper and write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next week on Friday night in Charlestown, West Virginia, they have a horse track. And you can bet on the horses. And they have about 10 races every night. And there's usually about 8 or 10 horses in each race. So I want you to pull out a piece of paper, and I want you to write the name of the winning horse in the first race, the second race, the third race, the fourth race, fifth race, sixth race, seventh race. Now, I'm not talking about go get a race for them and go pick a horse. Oh, I think I'll pick Peaches here. No, you better, Peaches has got to come out of your head and go on a piece of paper. Out of thin air. And if you were able to do that, and I could go bet $1,000 on that race and then take the winnings and put in the next race, we'd all be quadrillion millionaires probably before it was over with. The odds of you being able to do that would be 1 in 100 quadrillion chances to name. Out of thin air. Not going on a website and finding the names of the horses and pick them. That would be pretty strong too, but I'm talking about you writing the names down. Genesis chapter 22, verse 18. In your seed, all the nations of the earth shall be blessed because you have obeyed my voice. This is God speaking to Abraham. Now, who's your seed? It doesn't say seeds. It says your seed. The earth shall be blessed because you obeyed my voice. Okay, Galatians 3:16. Now to Abraham and to his seed were the promises made. He does not say into seeds as of many, but as of one, and your seed, who is Christ. Now, when we say the seed of Abraham, are we talking about a handful of corn? No, because that's a Bible idiom. The Bible is full of idioms. And see, that's where people miss it, because we scratch our heads. It's like we scratch our head when it says, at the end of Mark, when Jesus is given the Great Commission in Mark, it says, in my name you will cast out demons, you'll heal the sick, you'll take up serpents. And we got churches up back in the woods that have snakes all out front, have everybody handle snakes, or snake handling churches, right? Based on those words right there. But the problem is, that's an Aramaic idiom. It means you will handle your enemies. Doesn't mean go out and pick up snakes. It means you will handle it. And see, they've got a whole doctrine based on the idiom. Like if I based a doctrine on it's raining cats and dogs, we're going to go out and we're going to throw up dogs in the air, and when it's raining or something, we're going to act this thing out based on the idiom. You know, make the hay while the sun shines. You know, we speak idioms all day long out of our mouth. You know, and what's funny is, you know, we misunderstand it. It's like if I was talking to somebody and there was a guy from China standing beside me, and I told him, I said, and I go, 2 months ago, my grandpa kicked the bucket. Now, if I told you that, what does that mean? My grandpa kicked the bucket. He died. But the Chinese man standing there he goes back home and go, funny thing in America, somebody kicked the bucket and everybody cry. Because they won't understand it, see? And that's why we got to be careful in the Bible when we read something. It says Jesus, his face was set towards Jerusalem. What the heck does that mean? His face was set towards Jerusalem. It means he was dead set. He was going there and nothing was going to stop him.
That's right.
Okay? There's others. Another one. Here's a big one. Jehovah's Witness, their theology is Jesus Christ is the first creation. He's an angel. He's the first created being. And then through him, God created everything else. But he was a created being. He's not God. And they base that on 3 scriptures. One in Thessalonians, where it says, he will descend with the shout of an archangel and the trumpet of God. The shout of an archangel. They go, oh, Jesus, shout of an archangel. They ignore trumpet of God. But they say, oh, shut up. Then they go to Jude, where it says, Michael contended with Satan over Moses' body. And they go, Michael, he's an archangel, so that's Jesus. And they say Jesus is the archangel Michael. Then they go in the first part of Hebrews where it says that Jesus was the firstborn over all creation. Firstborn. Guess what? That's the idiom. Firstborn over all creation. What does that mean? Back in Psalms, it says, God says, I will make you my firstborn. And he's talking about David. I will make you my firstborn. Where was David at in his birth order? He was the last. He was not the firstborn in his family. It's an idiom. It means superior, the top. uppermost.
Mhm.
So they take those three scriptures and have a doctrine that Jesus is Archangel Michael, based on an idiom. Idiots. Okay.
That's thought.
Okay. So, Exodus chapter 12, verse 46. In one house it shall be eaten. You shall not carry any of the flesh outside the house, nor shall you break one of its bones. This was God's instruction to the Israelites about Passover lamb, that not one of its bones is going to be broken. You shall not break one of its bones. John 19, 31 through 33. Therefore, because it was the preparation day, that the body should not remain on the cross on the Sabbath, for the Sabbath was a high day, the Jews asked Pilate that their legs might be broken, and that they might be taken away. Then the soldiers came and broke the legs of the first and of the other, who was crucified with him. But when they came to Jesus and saw that he was already dead, they did not break his legs. That's why he was the Passover lamb. He fulfilled everything that was required of that Passover lamb. And he couldn't have his legs broken either. And they were going to break them.
Mhm.
And they didn't. Why? Because God said they're not going to be broken.
That's right.
Exodus 3, 13 through 14. Then Moses said to God, indeed, when I come to the children of Israel, pause. Shelby, have you started cooking anything?
No.
Yeah?
No.
Why don't you work on them? Start the
Okay.
burgers. Okay. And I'll try to be loud so you can still hear me. Okay. Exodus 3, 13, 14. Then Moses said to God, indeed, when I come to the children of Israel and say to them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they say to me, what is his name? What shall I say to them? This is Moses, right? Talking to God at the burning bush, you know. Who are you? What shall I say to them? And God said to Moses, I am who I am. And he said, thus you shall say to the children of Israel, I am has sent me to you. John 8:58. Jesus is talking to the Pharisees, and he's about to set them on fire. He's about to tear them. They're going to be tore up from the floor up. Jesus said to them, most assuredly I say to you, before Abraham was, I am. And he smoked them. Because he was absolutely positively declaring, I'm God. And then they were ready to stone him, but he snuck, he ran, he got off. Deuteronomy 18:15. The Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from your midst, from your brethren. Him you shall hear. John 6:14. Then those men, when they had seen the sign that Jesus did, said, this is truly the prophet who has come into the world. There's two in this verse. 2 Samuel 22, 2 and 3. The Spirit of the Lord spoke by me, and his word was on my tongue. The God of Israel said, the Rock of Israel spoke to me. He who rules over men must be just, ruling in the fear of God, and he shall be like the light of the morning when the sun rises, a morning without clouds. 1 Corinthians 10:4. And all drank the same spiritual drink, for they drank that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ. And Revelations 22:16. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify and to you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, the bright and morning star. Okay. Jeffrey, could you look up Mark 16:34? Who else has a Bible? Jesse, you can get something, right? Could look up Matthew 27:45.
27:35.
27:45. Matthew 27:45. Who else has got a Bible?
Maybe.
Rena?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll look at Matthew 27:39. Who else?
Maybe.
Debbie? Matthew 27:43. Who else? Kevin?
Now we
No?
got shared.
All right. Who else? Myra? Did I call you out yet? Mark 15:34-37.
You said 16.
16:34 for you. Mark 16:34.
There is no 34 and 16.
Mark 16:34?
You mean 15, don't you?
Probably.
Did you
Okay,
put that
50.
down twice?
No?
I thought that's the one you gave me.
Yeah, it's 15. It's 15.
Okay. Yeah, it's 15. Yeah, I gave you
I know.
15:34-37.
And that's
B,
what his
I've got
is.
15, 34.
Well, it
You
comes
got
back around.
37?
You got 15:34.
Yeah.
All right. We're just dealing with one psalm. One psalm. Guess which one it is, Jim?
22.
Ha ha! I knew you know it. And this psalm, the rabbis teach the Jewish people never read. Don't read this psalm. You're forbidden to read Psalm 22. Why? You'll find out why. Verse 1, my God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from helping me and from the words of my groaning? This is David writing this out, having no idea. He's writing what God's telling him to write, but he has no idea what he's doing as he's writing this out. He's prophesying. His prophecy coming right out on the page.
It's part of the situation that he's
in.
experiencing.
Yes.
Mhm.
He's experiencing it, but he's writing all this
He's
down.
writing this down.
And this is seven prophecies right here in this one chapter. There's 7 right here. Just this one chapter got 7 of them.
1,000 years.
Yeah, we're talking 1,000 years before.
Mm.
Not 6 days from here to the horse race on next Friday night.
Mhm.
Just 1,000 years. Okay? My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from helping me and from the words of my groaning? All right, 15:34.
And at the 9th hour, 3 p.m., Jesus cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, which is being interpreted, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?
Verse 2. Oh my God, I cry in the daytime, but you do not hear. In the night season, and am not silent. Matthew 27:45.
Now from the 6th hour until the 9th hour there was darkness over all the land.
Darkness, the place was dark.
Mhm.
Verse 3, but you are holy, enthroned in the praises of Israel. Our fathers trusted in you. They trusted and you delivered them. They cried to you and were delivered. They trusted in you and were not ashamed. But I am a worm and no man, a reproach of men, despised by the people. All those who see me ridicule me. They shoot out the lip and shake the head, saying, Matthew 27:39. He's got Matthew 27:39. Is that you, Rena?
And those who passed by spoke reproachfully and abusively and jeered at him, wagging their heads.
Shaking their head, mocking him.
Mm.
Verse 8. He trusted in the Lord. Let him rescue him. Let him deliver him, since he delights in him. Matthew 27:43.
He trusted in God. Let him deliver him now, if he will have him, for he said, I am the Son of God.
That's what they said to me. Almost verbatim.
Mm.
Did they know what they were saying was like? Verse 9. But you are he who took me out of the womb. You made me trust while on my mother's breasts. I was cast upon you from birth. From my mother's womb you have been my God. Do not far from me, for trouble is near, for there is none to help. Many bulls have surrounded me. Strong bulls of Bashan have encircled me. They gape at me with their mouths like a raging and roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax, it has melted within me. Mark 15:34 through 37.
Reference.
15:34 through 37.
This says, was what Jeffrey read.
Go ahead, and then keep reading past it.
Oh, okay. At the 9th hour, Yeshua cried out in Hebrew in a loud voice, which is translated, my God, why have you utterly forsaken me? And when some of those who were standing by heard, they were saying, behold, he is calling Elijah. And someone, having run up, then having filled a sponge with wine vinegar, after he placed it on a reed, was giving it to him to drink. Someone else saying, wait, let us see if Elijah is coming to take him down. Then Yeshua, as he uttered a loud cry, expired.
Verse 15, my strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue clings to my jaws. You have brought me to the dust of death. John 19:28. Could you look that up, please? Jeffrey. She has to look up Luke 23:32. 23:32. And Debbie, could you look up Luke 23:34, 35?